As November's presidential election gets closer, many political activist groups are starting to focus their attention on campaigning for their preferred candidate. Here's One America's Emily Finn.
Ryan, it's a pleasure to speak with you. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, Emily. Thanks for having me.
So earlier this week, President Trump traveled to Phoenix, Arizona for a Students for Trump rally. Now, since you're the co-chairman and founder of that organization, tell us a little bit more about your experience at that event. What was the energy like among the participants?
Yeah, so it was packed full of energy. From what we hear, the president really enjoyed it. Over 3,300 students from across the country. Now, out of that number, a mass majority of them were students from colleges and high schools all around the country, full of energy. You don't really see rallies like this. You'll never see a Joe Biden rally packed with students. You may have saw one during Barack Obama's presidency, but not during Joe Biden's campaign. So it was an amazing event. There's a lot of energy in that room, and we're just looking forward to doing some more with the president as well down the road.
Now, many are speculating that increasing the use of mail-in ballots and maybe rethinking the format of campaign events can be expected. But how do you think the coronavirus is going to affect this year's upcoming presidential election?
Yeah, so I mean, according to many experts, mail-in ballots lead to voter fraud. And when you look at the examples and the statistics, it is truly frightening. One recent one that I actually saw the other day, 84 million mail-in ballots sent out in 2016 and 2018 combined. Of that, roughly 750,000 of those were rejected. Over 1.5 million were indeliverable, and 16.5 million of them were completely missing. Went completely missing. That is 16.5 million chances for there to be cheating in an election. That's just one example. Paterson, New Jersey, 4 men charged, arrested, one being the Democratic VP city council member, as well as a candidate for the city council, arrested for mail-in voter fraud, for editing ballots. Just happened. Of the 16,000 votes that were casted, only 13,000 of them were actually counted. On the same day, we did an interview, I believe, on the same day that President Trump's tweet was censored, Emily. On that same day, a mailman in West Virginia was arrested for tampering with mail-in ballots. So voter fraud is real, and it's definitely exacerbated through mail-in ballots. There's no doubt about that.
Now, your organization is obviously very supportive of President Trump, and he's been actively campaigning for another 4 years in the White House. But let's talk about his opponent, the still presumptive Democrat nominee, Joe Biden. Now, many have been critical of Biden, accusing him of hiding from the issues facing our country right now. But the time will eventually come where Biden's going to have to emerge from his basement and face off against President Trump on the debate stage. And it's important to note, in some polls, despite his absence from the public eye, Biden is actually ahead of President Trump. So how do you anticipate American voters are going to react in the polls once these two actually do face off one-on-one on the debate stage?
Well, you know, Emily, it was very clear from our rally on the 23rd this past week, seeing the energy in that room. This is not something that Joe Biden can do. When Joe Biden goes on a stage, he gets like 60 people max in the room. No energy, no excitement. When you get Donald Trump on a debate stage, this guy throws hard punches. He's full of this enthusiasm and this vigor to just get out there and talk about what he's doing for this country. When he was running in 2016, obviously he didn't have accomplishments for things that he did as president because he wasn't president, he was running for office. But now he has accomplishments. He has solid things that he's done where he hasn't flip-flopped on issues. He's, in my opinion, one of the only presidents in modern day history who has kept his promises that he's made during his campaign. You can't say the same thing for Joe Biden. Joe Biden's been in office for around 70 years. Why didn't he tell Barack Obama what to do? Why wasn't he the one telling Barack Obama that we can do this better or we can do that better? Well, he wasn't doing it, and now he's campaigning as if he can make this whole country great again. I'll use Donald Trump's slogan for that, make this whole country great again if he becomes president of the United States of America. I just don't see it happening.
Ryan, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.